and welcome! My name is Luigi from BlueStacks, and today I've got some great news to share with you. Brawlhalla, the fighting game title inspired by Super Smash Bros, has recently launched into the mobile scene, opening up its doors to a much wider audience. And with over 20 million concurrent players across all platforms, you can bet that there won't be any boring moments here. And if you want to be on top of your game, well, you need to learn all of its mechanics. And in today's video, I'll present you some concepts and tips that you definitely need to keep in mind when playing Brawlhalla. So without any further ado, let's start with the fundamentals. While most fighting games share many similar concepts, they all offer unique mechanics to help them stand out from the rest. However, one aspect that applies to every single fighting game are the fundamentals. This term is used to determine all of the basic mechanics of every fighting game, which everyone should master before choosing a main to play. These fundamentals include things like the footsies, spacing, reach, setup, confirms, and mix-ups, among others. And while I won't go into much details on this video, because that would take probably months to explain, well, it's still very important to practice all the fundamentals before moving on to competitive gameplay. So to this end, I strongly recommend hopping into the practice mode and taking a look on how your attacks work, the range, and of course, studying some basic combos and practicing your positioning. Experimenting and understanding how all of the characters in this game works and all of their mechanics will prove itself very valuable, and will help you quite a lot when it comes to finding openings and punishing your enemies when they make a wrong move. And the fundamentals, of course, applies to all characters in the game, and by mastering them, you can get all the way up to Diamond with any character. Remember when I said that every fighting game has a different feature that separates it from all the others? Well, the weapon-based combat mechanic is Brawlhalla's defining feature. So basically, in this game, every character has a similar moveset when they are unarmed. However, there's a catch. Each legend is proficient with two types of weapons, which is represented by the icons beside their name in the character select screen. And you can pick these weapons in-game by picking the flaming swords that spawn and fall on the ground. And here in Brawlhalla, there are many different types of weapons, as you can see here on the list in the screen. For close range, there are swords, spears, hammers, axes, katars, gauntlets, and scythes. And for ranged, there are blasters, bows, orbs, cannons, and rocket lance. And all these type of weapons can be quite overwhelming at first, especially because every character can choose between two weapons. However, the learning curve here is not so different from the fundamentals, since most characters share very similar combat moves with the same weapon type. And after understanding and mastering the fundamentals, your next big step should be to understand how every single weapon on this game works. Some of them, like hammers and axes, are brutish and rely on slower chargers attacks and predict the enemy's moves, while others, like bows and blasters, are combat-based weapons that rely on accurate input and precise execution to juggle the enemies and knock them out of the arena. While the weapons and the fundamentals are pretty much streamlined with every character in this game, the main distinguishing feature of each legend are their stats, represented by the 4 bars on their character's card. And these 4 stats are the following. Damage determines how much damage the character does with every attack. Defense determines how much damage the character takes from every attack. Dexterity determines how fast a character swings his weapon and how long it takes to them to attack again after swinging. And speed determines a character movement speed. So, in this sense, while all characters share a very similar moveset, what sets them apart are their stats. Okay, currently there are no best character in Brawlhalla. I had plenty of success playing with Core, while fishing for some awesome kills with the hammer's aerial sidelight attack, which can KO anyone as soon as they reach orange damage. So, in other words, just pick the character that appeals you the most, either due to stats, combat mechanics, or even looks. And let me tell you, looks, it's a very important factor here. Brawlhalla has a lot of crossover characters such as Tevon from the Crystal Gems from Steven Universe, Finn and Jake from Adventure Time, all the different knights from Shovel Knight, and many more. And lastly, just like any other fighting game, there are no shortcuts to getting good. You need to practice hard to master your favorite legends and climb up the competitive ladder with them. Just remember to start from the fundamentals and then go from there. And if you play every day and you start to understand how all the characters work, in no time you'll find openings to perform the best combos you can possibly imagine. So that brings us to the end of another video. And if you want to play Brawlhalla on your PC's big screen with a keyboard and mouse, or even a gamepad, make sure to play it with BlueStacks. Oh, and before I forget, just make sure to share with us what's your favorite character in the comment section below. But anyway, that's it for now, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye!